watching Halenville Live with Fruitcake Tony. Woo!
All right, Ed, we made it, man.
What's up?
We're ahead of it. We're ahead of it. Ahead of curfew tonight.
What's going on, Halen heads?
We are absolutely live. 910 Fruitcake and Ed DeBrill. What's up, dude?
Not much. It is a hot MFer out there, I'll tell you. I am so glad to have my nice cold beer. It's crazy out there. I'm telling you, it's just so humid. I mean, of course, down south, you probably get this all the time, but today was especially just horrible. Just like Hades out there. I mean, it's just. I mean, my air conditioners can't keep up.
I know it's upper 90s here for a few days, but it's back and forth.
Yeah,
it is summertime though. We are almost in mid-July, July the 9th. Here we are.
Yeah, right in the middle of summer. Shark Week is going on, and people are, back from their vacations this week. And
that's right.
I don't take mine till the end of the month, but it was nice driving to work. I gotta tell you that. It was.
How so?
Well, just no traffic. There was nobody around.
Oh yeah,
I was the only idiot going to work. It seemed.
I know. I did notice less traffic on the roads over the holiday weekend, and less people on the golf course and out, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to take a highway. And my ride is generally 30-35 minutes anyway. It's not that big of a deal. But there's been times where if I time it just right, I get behind a school bus or something like that, or one of the bridge I have to cross is jam packed with traffic, and but other than that, it's not too bad. But I noticed I just breezed right through the last week. I felt like like it was the apocalypse, and I was the only person in the world, just driving along, hoping everything was open, hoping I could get my coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now it's back to reality. As far as a lot of people out in the roads.
I know it was nice to have a long holiday weekend, July 4th, simply because of what day it fell on. So yeah, nice to have 4 good whole days there in a row.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a great week. I mean, we saw most of you on Saturday anyway, but I hope everybody had a great long weekend and enjoyed themselves and had barbecues and so forth. People around here apparently still have some fireworks left over, so whatever. Every once in a while, I'll hear some.
Yeah. This year, for some reason, it wasn't as bad.
No, you're right. Yeah.
No, well, here over behind me, and I think we were live last year, the year before, on July 4th, and the people on the panel and my dog, everyone's dog went nuts and all the booming. But this guy behind me has like the big fireworks.
Oh,
And yeah,
big spender.
I don't know how he gets them, where he gets them, but
He knows a guy.
he didn't do it though this
Oh,
year
okay.
for some reason though.
Huh.
I tried to have a talk with Lucy before. I'm like, look, it's July 4th,
Yep. Sorry.
get ready.
Try to psych her up for the big show.
Yeah. Well, dude, nice to see you, Ed. Nice to see everybody
You
in the
too.
chat. You people watching on replay, I told you it's more fun to watch live. So plan on 9 o'clock Tuesday, every Tuesday, right here. We'll be talking Van Halen. Surely we will. And as this summer heats up, we are really, really, really excited about the Sammy tour, about the crank up and all the stuff surrounding it. And yeah, we're going to be talking about that starting next week. The tour cranks up the 15th.
We'll see how they do live. It's going to be a big test with Satch. So
right out of the box, Ed. I thought you'd wait till at least the second hour to go there. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So
no,
I got a notification today from some store in Arizona that I have a package on the way. Some guy named Jeff sent me something. Something I ordered a few months back.
Sounds like a Jeff we know.
Yeah, a Jeff we know.
What is it? Are you gonna wait?
It's the
You gonna wait to tell us?
It's the reissue of the Fuck album with all the little goodies in it.
Nice.
I know. I already know what's there. It's nothing special. They say, on the extra CD, you have these unreleased songs. We all know the songs. They've, it's all the ones that we've heard before. There's
What's
really
the
nothing.
Goodies?
That's supposed to be the goodies. That and special booklets and things and I think it's remastered somehow and I'd have to look it up again. I ordered it so long ago I forgot. I just know I got the tracking number just recently. I said, oh yeah, I forgot I ordered that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming. It's coming by the end of the week, I guess.
Yeah, I saw, isn't that like a anniversary issue or something like that?
Yeah, it's the expanded edition, and it's got let's see. It's got looks like 2 LPs. I want to say a DVD, a couple of CDs, a special booklet. 2 LPs of the album completely remastered, 2 CDs with the original album remastered, rarities and live versions. A Blu-ray includes all the official music videos, live footage from Van Halen's concert. The free concert in Dallas.
Yeah. What's the title of the whole package, Ed?
It is Frontenlafo Carnal Knowledge Expanded Edition. It's $100. So they got remixes and the show's set list mixes new songs, Judgment Day and Pound Cake, with songs from 5150 and OU 812, Best of Both Worlds, and Finish What You Started. That's the show that they did in Dallas.
Yeah.
They played Panama, One Way to Rock, and I Can't Drive 55 and stuff like that. So
I love that Dallas show.
Top of the World. So and then you get the double LP featuring an etching of Van Halen logo on the fourth side in the album itself. Then a booklet loaded with band photos, rare memorabilia, 32 pages. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nothing new as far as like but I think it'd be great for a new Van Halen fan.
I think it'll do well. I didn't get it. We all, of course, got the Sammy reissue,
Yep.
the whole that a while, a few months ago. But I think it'll do okay.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know,
I mean,
you bought it.
I bought it. Yep. I'm sure a lot of other Van Halen fans bought it, and but yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'll do an unboxing when I get it.
Yeah,
So
cool.
we'll see how it is.
Nice, Ed. We're going to talk about some subject matter tonight that I guess is part of Van Halen history, and had things been different at certain key times, I guess, in Van Halen history, would the outcomes have been different? Would
Yeah.
in between the Dave and the Sammy, yeah. So,
but it could have been worse too, because a lot of people say that when you're feeling good on drugs or alcohol, you tend to write music better. Although a lot of bands did, they could write music a lot easier when they took certain things.
well, it is. I mean, we're going to get into all of that, the culture, the time, the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
We were children of the 80s.
Yep.
And they were glorious.
Yeah.
There were people that could handle the 80s and some who couldn't.
Yeah. It's true.
But we're going to talk all about drinking and drugging and all that stuff as it pertains to Van Halen and their history. And it had a huge impact on their careers, all of them,
Yes.
but a lot of them individually. Yeah.
I mean, look at all the bottles around us here, Tony. Jeez.
Well, I was just looking at it. We just ran that lovely intro that Sandra Picorni invented with the music of John Conklin.
Yep.
And I stopped counting after all. I started counting bottles.
Yeah.
But it is a part of it all. It was a part of their lives. It was a part of our lives. It was a part of the culture then. It was a sign of the times also. Not to blame it all on that. But
right.
yeah, I don't want to uncork all that right now, but we're going to get to all of that, and I want to tread lightly as we speak about this, because there was a lot of drinking and drugging going on in the Van Halen world in the 80s and in the 90s too.
Yeah.
And in the 2000s.
I was going to say that too.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yes.
All right. So, yeah, but it's a tender subject. We're not going to throw anybody under the bus or, but it, yeah, it needs to be talked about, I guess. We've talked about every other Van Halen topic under the sun. And we might chunk our own selves and our own buddies under the bus tonight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll talk all about the past. I'll tell you some stuff tonight. Um, yeah. But a lot of the stuff, what happened in the 80s, really kind of, I guess, by luck, just by chance, and it stayed in the 80s, Ed,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and we talked about that. 1989, 1990 was a big turning point in my life, not to mention in the music world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Big turning point in my and it was so weird to me, looking back and how all these things paralleled each other, with
That's
our
true.
lives and what we were doing and what they were doing, and you're like, no shit.
That's right.
But we're not alone, you know.
Nope.
Um, yeah.
We all have to grow up sometime. I refuse to, but I guess you have to.
Well, we all did. We
Yeah.
all did, but me and my crew did anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, in the course of the evening tonight, we're going to do some, about at the hour mark, we're going to do some nearly impossible Van Halen trivia. Okay. Now, we'll ask you a very difficult Van Halen question in the chat. You answer. So, whoever is the first is the winner, is how that works. Now, for tonight, we have a very special prize. We are giving away one of those you see down there on the right side of your screen, that lovely red, white, and black smoking device. I'm sure there's a lot of names for it. Pipe. It's not a bong, a bowl. But our friend of the show, William Desilva, is a glass maker, and he made that thing. Okay.
Yep.
So apparently it's fully functional. Ed,
Yeah. All right.
should you want to use it like that, but
Tobacco
even if you
use.
don't, right? No, but even if you don't, though, it's still lovely to collect if you are a collector. Um, yeah. So thank you, William.
Yeah. Great work.
Now, me and Ed are on a quest here. I hadn't opened up the chat yet, but I'm trying to get back up with William. Um, he's very excited about giving this prize away this evening, but I'm still trying to get back up with him. He has a store in Etsy, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got many of these things and other nice glass homemade art. And I'd like to have that link to share it with all of you guys. So Ed, if we see William
Yeah. Get that link from him.
tonight, let's find out how to get your very own one of those. Yeah. So we'll play trivia tonight at about the hour mark. There's a trivia winner's email. if you're the winner. But that's a heck of a prize, Ed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Someone's going to be happy.
Someone is. Absolutely, someone is going to be thrilled. Even if they don't ever use it, though, it's still lovely. It's totally Van Halen.
Yeah, and if you have a Van Halen Zippo lighter like the one up in the corner there, I mean, then there you go. You have the complete set.
There you go. You can fire it up. It looks like
Yep.
it's ready to be sparked up right there, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Fired up, dude.
We should have put it right next to the lighter. That would have been kind of cool.
I know. But
put the lighter underneath it.
Thank you, William.
Yeah.
Yeah. At last check, he was out still working, so hopefully we'll see him in the chat. I'm gonna open up the chat, Ed.
All right.
I don't think I have anything else. That's the prize for tonight. So let's open up the chat and see who is hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to go all the way to the top. Let's see here. All right, everybody, welcome. It's Tuesday night. You know what that means. It's Van Halen night. Yeah, got it. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good luck later in trivia. That's a hell of a prize, man. Mine? Know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Let's crack it to the top. Keith Campbell, what's up, man? He says, "Hey kids, is there anything left in that bottle? Bring it over here, man. Give me another cigarette." Keith, happy Tuesday. Hope your 4th was swell, bro.
Happy Tuesday.
All right. There's R2, R3 locking out our Van Halen brother. What's up, man?
What's up, R2?
There he is. Yeah. Good to see you, R2.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Hey, look at that. Tony.
Okay. No Man's Land. What's up?
Hey, No Man's Land. What's up?
Good to see you. All right. Cushman NYC. Good to see Cushman.
Cushman.
All right. All right. Bent Tom in the chat. What's up, Tommy?
Tommy would love that pipe.
One of the original OGs on this show and channel. Should I remind everybody? If you don't know Tommy, good to see you, dude. Always good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me. All right. There he is. Christopher Live Soba. What's up, dude?
What's up, brother?
All right. All the cool kids hanging in tonight.
He was just at Whiskey Myers.
I know. The trivia champ of all time he is.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, you 812. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, sir.
Ryan.
Yeah. So Ryan is on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel. So those of you who don't know, they do live streams Thursday and Sunday. Him and R2, R3 Locking Nut and John DeShane and Trev and you'll like it. You'll see us over there in the chat. Me and Ed and Brendan. Randy Price.
Randy played Dawkins. I was like, yes.
I know he did.
Yeah.
Sunday at 5 in the afternoon, they have a 5 Eastern. They have a open jam, and they all cut up, and it's fun. And they jam. They rock out.
Yep.
Yeah. And they get wound up, and they really rock out. And lately though, I'll say the Sunday jam like the second half of the, because I keep speakers on here, smoking hot, just killing it, you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, good to see you, Ryan, and R2 in the chat. What's up, bro?
Yeah, right. Ryan and R2.
All right, let's see who else is hanging down here. If you're just joining, say hello in the chat, please. Andy, what's up, brother?
Hey, Andy. Glad Pops is doing well. He's been going through a lot lately. Andy's father. So prayers for him, buddy.
Good to hear, Andy. Always
Yeah.
great to see you too, sir.
Yep.
All right, there's Zach Thong. What's up, Zach?
Hey, Zach.
Good to see you, dude. Haven't seen you in a little bit. I don't see enough of you, bro. Always great to see you. Cameron, good to see you, dude.
Hey, Cameron.
Nice. All right, I'm scrolling. Bear with me. Guitar Man 45. What's happening?
All right. What's going on, man?
Good to see you, Bo. KXM Rock. What's up, dude?
Yes.
Jeff Kiesel. Is he in the chat? What's up, Jeff? I have nothing against Kiesel guitars. I just won't buy one any shade of pink. I know that. No. I know. I'm scared of colors like that unless you know that the color has a name, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my Olympic white Fender Telly. You know that cut, I would, but yeah, no. That was shady, and that Kiesel dude showed the world what he was made of. Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
you remember that, Ed?
No, I don't.
When Jay Hannon opened up that Kiesel in a certain shade of pink, and it wasn't the shade of pink agreed upon, et
Oh.
cetera, and the dude wouldn't budge, wouldn't, and everything about it broke the guitar.
Oh no.
There was a couple mods, I think, and the dude, it was just a shit show from top to, and the dude, and yeah, I'd have shouted to the heavens and the world myself too,
That's a
you
shame.
know. But nah, he got some bad press about that. Well deserved, maybe. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not how you do business.
No, if something goes wrong, then you take care of it. You
That's right.
take care of your customers.
Yeah, no. That's right. Everybody gives Jay, mess about sending stuff back now, but everything. And I
That was
used to watch Jay and them, all of us did, when him and Johnny, for years and years, and the Kiesel company shit on him, plain and simple. I don't know how else to say it.
so that particular return was justified.
Yeah, but that was just that Jay doesn't really do that,
Yeah.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Who else we
All
got
right.
in here?
I'm scrolling, bro. All righty. Where's Monique?
Oh, Monique's she posted a whole bunch of stuff already.
Where is she?
Dr. Monique tonight.
Dr. Monique. Where is Dr. Monique?
John DeShane's in there too.
There she is. Okay, you got your lab coat on, Monique? Nice to see you.
We're going to be talking booze and drugs and maybe even sex. Who knows?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, speaking of sex, Bona Jams
Oh.
just walked in.
One thing leads to
That man is
another.
sex personified right there.
Where is it at?
He's down at the bottom.
I'm still scrolling. All right.
Oh, Randy Price is in there too.
All right, Ed. I'll just hand you the mouse. I can't scroll it. I can't scroll it fast. Let me.
Sorry. Those guys. I cheated. I went down to the bottom part.
Ah, I got you.
I was following you for a while, but then.
Okay, there's Lawnmower Tapes. What's up, man?
Hey, Lawnmower Tapes. What's up?
And there's Ronald. Good to see you, dude.
Hey, all right, Ronald.
All right. I'm still scrolling.
Yeah.
John DeShane in the house. What's up, John?
What's
Part
up,
of
buddy?
the O crew over there on OU812. Yeah. Always good to see you guys, man. Charles 75 in. What's up, man?
All right, Charles.
Hey now, Charles, I don't see enough of you, partner.
Yeah.
Good to see you, sir.
Great.
All right. Yeah, dude. All right. I am still scrolling. All right. Ed, I am. There's Randy. What's up, dude?
What's up, Randy?
Always good to see you, dude.
Yep.
Enjoy your playing on Sunday, bro, and Thursday.
Blue Mox just showed up.
There is the sexy one. What's up, Boner Jams? All right, I need tea. Nice to see you, bro. All right. All right, let's scroll on down to the bottom. Rock Daddy in the house. What's up, man?
Yeah. What's up, Rock Daddy?
Nice to see you. All righty. Okay, Blue Mox, what's up, man? Good to see you again. Nice. All righty. You guys, it's great to see you all. It is Tuesday. Al's G is with us. Ed.
Hey.
What's up, man?
What's up, Al's?
All right. So those of you just joining, Jeff K, what's up, man? Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Jeff.
Hadn't seen you in a bit. Those of you just joining, there is a really cool prize. That red, white, and black striped glass smoking device over there on the right side of yours, that's what we are giving away tonight. Our resident glassmaker, William Desilva, has offered this prize for tonight's show. Yeah. So thank you again, William. Still waiting on William in the chat. He is still at work. All right. Yeah, so that'll be a cool prize for you guys. Very difficult question. You better know your Van Halen history. Tonight. Yeah. Had to make it hard, but it's not too hard because I want somebody to win that fucking pipe.
Yeah.
You know. I guess we'll call it a pipe, Ed.
Yeah.
Is that proper?
Sure.
Okay.
That's the first thing that comes to mind when I see it.
I mean, you know, I'm an old dude, but I'm not retired yet. But when I retire, maybe by then, maybe by the time, Ed, I retire, the laws here in my state will have changed. and it'll be more lax here.
There you go.
And I won't have to worry, and that'll just run in
Just
parallel too.
sit on your back porch, not have to worry about a thing, have a nice smoke. Sure.
The day I retire and the day it gets legalized, same week, that'd be so cool.
And you can grow your own. We can grow up to 6 plants per person here.
In your state?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. I could put it right in my vegetable garden right now if I wanted to.
So
yes. 6 plants per person, as far as I know, not per household.
But you live in a state, Ed, where you can walk down the street and walk in a store and buy weed.
Yes. Yes, there's one about a mile that way.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's this? So all of this is relatively new in certain states, but what do you call, what's the slang up there among you? Do you call it the weed store?
No, most people call it, they'll call it dispensaries. Cannabis stores, or pretty much. You go in there, you have to. It's pretty regulated. You have to show your license, and they scan your license, and then you go inside, and there's always somebody there to help you. Customer services. They accept tips, by the way. Customer service is really big with them. It's almost like going into a high-end like jewelry store, and they got stuff in cases, and you say, oh, what's that? How much? What's the percentage of THC in that one? And they got chocolates. I like the chocolates. Gummies. Of course, weed.
It wouldn't matter to me because I live in the South. If it got legalized, I still got many more years. I got to work.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Dwight Bailey, what's up, man?
So I guess when you're in a state where it's legal, it's very hard for employers to try to say anything about it now, because as long as you're not doing it while you're working.
Well, let me ask you this, Ed.
Sure.
We get random. Everyone in the service industry is subject to random screening. What is if weed is, what is the insurance? Let's ask Boner Jams. He's an insurance guy.
Yeah, it's a good question for an insurance
What is
man.
insurance? Obviously, if your insurance company, if you're not going to cover an employee if they fail a drug test, do they exclude that because it's legal in that state now? Is that the thing?
I would think they would. How long does it stay in your system? What if I smoked a joint tonight and they tested me tomorrow? It'd probably still be in my system.
But is it going to matter to them?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know how employers would react to it now.
I guess my question is, in a state where it's legal, is the insurance and is that more lax also?
Yes, I would think so. According to Monique, she said yes. It's excluded in drug tests up here.
Okay. Yeah, there she is. Let's see here. Thank you, Monique. Huh.
Yeah. So, if you're in a company vehicle and you get pulled over by the police and they think you're under the influence of marijuana,
I understand that.
Then that's different. But if they test you for it, it would be like tomorrow me getting a test and they're like, oh, you had some beer last night. So
Right. Right. I
uh,
guess that makes it to where it's not a big thing anymore.
right,
Right?
and I'll tell you one thing: the states where it's legal, they're getting a shitload of money, a lot of money. It's regulated. These places have to pay a lot of taxes and all that, and I think they use a lot of that money to go back into the system for programs and stuff, to help people. So it's a win-win.
Huh. Yeah. Um yeah. We there in the 80s we smoked a lot of weed. We did. Um Absolutely. I think I smoked my first, I wasn't really young. I was probably, I don't know, in high school,
Mm-hmm.
16 maybe, 15, 16, somewhere in there, you know. Um, had my first six pack, I guess, at maybe 14, 15, 14, middle school,
Yep.
hanging out with older kids, I guess, I don't know. But that was the thing. Um, but and this was probably, I want to put this in 1978, 1979. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and by night, and there was in school, there was there was a lot of weed, you
And
know.
you know who sold it too. Everybody knew.
Well, it was a lot of weed. It was amongst it was amongst the athletes, amongst the girls. It was amongst that group, and it was. But it seemed like with us here on the East Coast in the early '80s that it was just all at once, and maybe that was a little bit of us coming of age too,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, but from I don't know, from 11th, 12th grade uh, through I would say 1988, 1987, we smoked a lot of weed, bro. A lot. Putting it out there, a lot. I smoked more weed in that time frame than most of you and your neighbors will smoke in a lifetime. You know,
Yeah.
they were glorious years too. Um,
There
we
was
escaped
always
them.
there was always a certain area where all the high school kids knew that they could go and smoke. Like around here, on a Friday night before a football game, a high school football game, there was an area near the stadium, and it was called the Rock. It was a huge, huge rock in the middle of a kind of woodsy area, and everybody would congregate there and drink beer, smoke weed, and then go into the game. Um, or you always knew that kid whose parents was away for a week, and they made the mistake of leaving him home alone or her, and
Right?
no parties, nope, nope, no parties. But all of a sudden, there's a house full of kids, and you're in
Mm,
that basement with the paneling on the walls, and everybody's smoking weed and listening
yeah,
to music and drinking beer
yeah,
and having a
that's it.
blast.
Right
You
on.
know, you know,
Those
or
those were fun, dude.
yeah, or you went to a concert, and sure enough, before the show, during the show, after the show.
Well, I think at certain ages, and a lot of you are our age. At certain ages, there you've heard this term. It's not a pretty term, but gateway drug.
Yeah,
That's you never like to hear that shit.
no,
Get that shit away from a gateway drug. What is that? But
yeah,
when you are a young dude and you drink beer, that's your first.
hmm
And and then weed later. And once we got out of high school and got on, yeah, then once we got a little older and, you know, out there on our own, simple life wasn't so damn simple. But we started doing a little bit of blow, you know. Um, and me and my friends, and I was running with, you know, some friends with I have lifelong buds of mine who I was little with, that we grew up together, got married at the same time, had kids together, at each other's weddings, etc., births, funerals, everything like that. And they're still, most of us are still here. You know, 5 out of 8 of us are
Yeah,
still here. Yeah,
not
like
bad.
that. But we did we did do our fair share of it, but really, you know, not so much to our head in the clouds and our feet in the ground, but we all had responsibilities in our lives, you know, and no matter how much fun, Ed, that we had on the weekend, we couldn't make a mess of anything else. We had too much going for us, you know. All of us did,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um,
Yeah.
so you dabbled in it, you know, and it was expensive, you
Oh,
know.
I bet. Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean, you know, weed, buying a bag of weed back in the 80s for $25, $35 for a quarter bag, a quarter ounce of, you know, God knows how much it costs now,
I know.
you know.
Crazy.
But those were the good old days, and you were at the mercy of the black market because it was not even thought about being legal anywhere.
Nope.
It's still in certain places, but that's, and either you knew some, and but it was pretty widespread in every corner of this country in that time. Um, and yeah, it was all over school. And but yeah, but Ed, when we started doing coke on the weekends, we could see um the danger in it all.
Oh,
Um
I bet.
and although there were never any accidents or mishaps or any health scares or anything like that, um it was something that you had to be very careful, you know.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I can say I never tried it. I think what happened with me was, as everybody knows, I'm a big Celtics fan. And back in 1986, the Celtics drafted Len Bias out of Maryland,
Yeah,
supposed to be the next Michael Jordan,
yeah,
and he celebrated with some cocaine and he killed him.
that's right.
So that kind of scared the shit out of me. I said, I'm never trying that stuff.
Well, and but it's there were we never me and my crew and my friend, we never did it. There was one particular, I think the summer of 87. um it were days we were doing where there was multiple days in a row, but that we were on our way to the beach also, going to Myrtle Beach,
hmm
which was a popular, still is a popular thing to do,
Oh
but
yeah.
from here. But um when we would spend a couple $100 each and go in on whatever it was, an 8-ball or two, and that was it. Once that was the party, that was that night. Once it's gone, it's just a good time, and that's all. And that's how we treated it. None of our crew, I can honestly, none of our crew ever ended up going beyond that, having a problem, and and all like that.
Well, that's
Never,
good.
everyone. But yeah, but when you're doing that, obviously makes you stay up, and then you're drinking, offsetting that.
Yep.
It's like the drink is not making you as drunk because of the blow, but the alcohol is bringing you down a little bit off of the blow. It kind of levels it once you get too much on one, and then
it's a battle.
and after 3 or 4 days, it's it gets pretty, when it's a Friday and you sit down at the coffee table with your neighbor, okay? And all of a sudden it's Tuesday and you're still sitting there,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, that can happen.
But the thing about that is, once 1990 rolled in, all of us kind of not by a plan. None of us went out of our way, but and from 1989 to probably 1991, everybody I know nobody partied anymore. Nobody smoked weed anymore. Nobody did anything above weed, of course, but everybody had babies. All my kids' friends or my friends' kids, etc., like that, because we all had babies at the same time. Eddie had Wolf at the same time. A lot of that parallels the 80s in our lives as well, Ed.
Yeah.
I think
That's true.
If you look, the most blow was in the mid to late 80s, 87, 88. And I look back, and that's when we were as wound up in that shit as we ever were, which wasn't much. It was fun, though. It was fun. I can honestly say that I ended up at the beach meeting some very cool people. But yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of part of the culture in a sense in the 80s as well, and along with yuppies, and it was part of the culture to do blow. That's the way it
was, though. But in the thing about it was, at that time frame, Ed, you talked about your Celtics earlier.
Yep.
In 1980, and I'll tell you, it was, and you all know it, on every NBA bench in every Major League Baseball clubhouse, it was rampant. They were doing
the NBA.
it on the NBA.
Yep. Early 80s.
Baseball.
Late 70s, early 80s. Yep.
Yeah. It was, yeah. But it in that time in 1980, it was accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, team owners and coaches and the NBA themselves, they kind of turned away and didn't say anything until it got too bad, and then people weren't watching anymore, and then once a new commissioner came in, David Stern and Bird and Magic, made the game more important than the drugs. Things changed.
well, yeah, and then they came out with drug testing.
That too.
That was never heard of.
Yeah.
Right.
And Nancy Reagan, see my saying right here?
Wow.
Say no to drugs.
Just say no. Yeah. That's
Just
it.
say no. Yeah. So
Ronald said it best. Just say no. He did.
So how did it affect Van Halen? So when I reading Noel Monk's book, he talks about the drugs and all that stuff all throughout the book. Their saying was drink a bottle of booze, pop a couple ludes, smoke a joint or 2 or 10, and see where the night takes you. That was their saying.
Yeah.
That was and they lived the rock star life with the booze and the drugs. I mean, Alex was more into the beer and he had a lot of issues with that.
He did his fair share though.
Yeah, he did his share of the other stuff too.
Fair share though. Yeah.
And even when Valerie got sort of into the family, she started to do the drugs, although she promoted herself as straight-laced, and she wasn't going to be like her co-host there, Mackenzie Phillips, who was a raging drug addict. Our little Barbara Cooper, she would partake in cocaine and stuff, along with the band and everybody, and it was a big party.
During you mentioned the 1984 tour, that in that book, Noel talks about Ed's guy used to come out and meet him often on tour, and but these rock stars, Ed, I'm sure he did it. You didn't know where he kept it, but you got a safe on your bus or a little lockbox or something. You've seen shots of Nikki Sixx carrying these briefcases and Robin Crosby and it looks like a damn briefcase in Scarface.
Hey, William's in the chat.
There he is.
Yeah.
William.
What's up?
Good to see you, dude. We were just talking about you.
Yeah.
So, William, what is your Etsy store's name over there? I'd like to I'd like to put that in the chat or in the description too.
Yeah.
So we can check out all of your stuff.
Oh, there you go. Haystack Glass.
Haystack Glass. Okay. All right. So Ed, can you look that up on Etsy?
Yep.
Haystack Glass. Right on.
Now. Haystack Glass.
So, Ed, as we were saying here, now Eddie's guy used to come out and meet him on tour. So these guys, if you did coke in at that time and you had the dough, of course you had it. Of course you had it. I mean, I think one of the interviews that made Van Halen stars, and a lot of you will agree with me, was the Alan Handelman show with Dave in the red sunglasses. You know what I'm saying? And he's stoned out of his brain, and he says he's stoned. He doesn't care. And Alan asks, used to have a drug problem, but now I have enough money.
That's right.
I mean, that kind of stamped poof, rock star on these guys, and that was, we first saw that in 1981.
Yep.
I think they
And
made it in 80, but yeah.
And Keith was saying that Jan, Ed's father, gave him a shot and a cigarette when he got hit by a German Shepherd. Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Alex, drank and stuff.
Well,
as
I
well.
think they also might have had shots that Jan okayed, right before gigs that they rode along on.
I could see his mother forbidding it and his father going, "Don't tell your mother," that kind of thing.
Right.
Wow, William, you got some badass stuff on your site. Some one hitters, a lot of nice pipes.
Hang on a second, Ed. I know you don't have.
No, I don't have.
You don't have these StreamYard controls here. I'm gonna go to. All right.
Some good stuff there.
What did he say his store was?
Haystack Glass. Handmade quality glass pipes from the Pacific Northwest. Springfield, Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's have a look at one of these, Ed.
Sure.
I got to get out of this screen for a moment. I can come back here. Let's go here for a moment. Yeah, that covers up that too. Good. All right, and let's grab this. Oh shit. All right. Yeah. You can see that?
Oh yeah.
You can see that moving?
I don't see anything moving at the moment.
Oh shit. Yeah, if I change screens here. Yeah, no, if I go beyond that, it doesn't show it unless I back out and have to share screen again. So, but yes.
Oh, so you can't control that screen and slide the bar up and down or anything like that?
No.
I saw your mouse. I thought I saw your mouse pointer. When you put it over that pipe, it moves, right? With that lady's hand.
Yeah.
Or whatever that is.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me grab this. All right. Okay, let me let's go back there. All right. So we'll keep that cover off of there, I guess. Ed, why not? We're an hour in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the kids have gone to bed now.
Yeah, the white stripes.
The grandkids are gone. Yeah.
Oh, that's just a
we had a little
with Eddie's
cover
design
over that. We had a little napkin laying over it for later.
I put that on a red background and added black stripes just to make it Van Halenized.
Well, all right. So,
but
now it did. So obviously, we learned about Ed's use of it. Okay.
Yeah.
But although not publicized,
Nope.
not publicized, let's take Sammy.
Okay.
Okay. Loves his drink.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sammy, he partaked in a lot of blow with Van Halen,
Yep.
a lot live. He would have a good time. But I think Sammy knew when to shut it off.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
Mikey too.
well, Mike too. I was going to say that next, but for Sammy, I think that you know, for I mean, he was all in to be in Van Halen. He was all gung ho and all about it. So he could have easily fallen into the sign of the times, okay?
Yeah.
But he didn't, you
And
know.
he heard the stories,
He did
and
a lot, but I mean, once he got in Van Halen,
right when
they still did a lot of blow, and he
oh
did
yeah,
blow.
yeah,
They all did a lot of blow.
he wanted to see if the stories were true when he went up to 5150, and yeah, they were true.
Well, but whether they wanted, Mike. Let's take Mike. You know, he's I think the whole thing with Mike, the video Ed where Mike is out on the boat and he's got the captain's hat on and he's at the wheel and it's two girls on each side of him
Oh yeah,
and they have like nothing on.
yep.
Um and he looks at the camera and says, "You're not going to show my wife this, are you?" So I think Mike wanted to he and still to some degree he wants to be low
The-
key, although he liked his Jack Daniels.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
um,
that was his thing, and he get fucked up just as bad as the other guys.
he does though, but I
Yep.
think Mike knows when to shut it off too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And
right.
Noel would pay the cops off too, so nobody would get arrested for drugs at a Van Halen show.
Yeah.
At each town, he would pay the cops and tell them, "Hey,
Well, Noel kept them
turn, turn
boys, and Noel did
yeah,
well.
yeah, turn your backs, guys. Don't say anything about this. Here's some money."
Noel wore many hats though.
Yeah, that's true.
Many hats. Yeah. Um, but now,
So, on the negative side of things, how do you think it affected the band?
well, when let's just start there with I'm getting there. Let's
Okay,
with Mike and Sammy here.
okay,
All right.
okay, all right. Let's
I
continue
want to
with Mike
use
and Sammy.
those guys as examples, both of them,
Yep.
collectively. I like my Jack Daniels too.
Hmm.
I'm not a beer drinker. I don't drink blue drinks or margaritas anymore. But if I'm at the beach, I might drink something,
Yeah.
but it's never much. But I like Jack Daniels. And when I drink, never on a weekday. That's my rule.
Good.
Never on a weekday.
Yep.
It's always been my rule. But I get hung over, Ed. I mean, when I wake up after Jack Daniels, man, I don't want to drink the next day, man. That's the
No.
last thing I want to think about, and I'm half sick anyway. Shit, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I was lucky to have never. It's not that that I can shut it off and like that because willpower. It's just I've been lame at it. I've been a lightweight. I have a couple and I'm lit and that's it. It's nap time. Um, but yeah, no, I've never been good at it. I'll say that.
Okay.
I've never been a drinker. No. Um,
Yeah, I was never good at Jack Daniels either. I think the first time I drank it, it was right before a high school dance. We got a bottle from somebody and we drank it, and I was sick that whole night and next day and everything. So I'll never do that again. And I never drank Jack Daniels again after that.
well, I've had a couple of occurrences with Jack Daniels as a young person
Mm-hmm.
at concerts. They were, but no, if I'm gonna drink, and I'm not a big drinker, it's gonna be Jack, and that's
Yeah.
about it. And so I buy a bottle of Jack Daniels, and it'll last me a couple of months or more, you know, and that's how it goes. So just little on the weekend and not every weekend, you know.
Yep.
Not lately though, because I've been playing a lot of golf, so trying to get up early and not. But maybe that's what the fuck I need though.
Maybe
They
you never
they
know.
say you play your best golf, the more hungover you are, right?
Maybe you never know.
We're gonna have fun on Saturday night on Show Me Your Pick, bro. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Hey, Lewis.
good to see you, Lewis.
I saw somebody else come in. Oh, Jay Santiago's here.
Jay, good to see you, man.
And earlier we didn't mention him. McCollum Music.
Where's McCullough Music? Good to see you, man.
McCollum. Yeah, McCollum Music.
Sorry we didn't mention you
That's
earlier,
all right.
bro. Yeah, but when you are our age, Ed,
Mm-hmm.
and you experience the 80s from 13 years old to 18, and I was 18 years old in 1984, and it was a very good year.
Yeah, I was 18 in 85. Yep.
They, just like James Hetfield explained, what you listen to when you're 18, is what you'll be listening to the rest of your life.
And he's absolutely correct.
The musical train is running down the tracks, and you just happen to jump on it at a certain, spot, and that's where you are.
Yeah.
And that's what you'll be listening to forever. So,
So, so you were talking about Mike and Sam.
they knew how to shut it off. I don't think
Right.
under any circumstances with any other bandmates, and for them to still play and still have personal lives and businesses, etc., and be in Van Halen too, and to put up with others who were drinking and drugging and egoing and all that.
Yeah.
It was one, and it was they hats off to them, But those two, and they're still out there, and they party and they drink, but they look at them, man, and they're getting on up there, but they know when to shut it off. Sammy, he doesn't drink as much as he used to. Of course he
Nope.
doesn't. He knows when to shut it off.
They're both in their 70s now. Mike is 70. And Sammy's, what, 76? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So kudos to them. Keep partying.
Now, Dave, on the other hand, obviously David Lee Roth in recent years, since COVID, is smoking a lot of weed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or ingesting a lot of weed. I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very evident in all of his stuff that he sends our way on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But we miss Dave. Hope he is doing well health wise. Yeah, you don't hear too much out of that guy, you know.
No.
You get these videos, and you used to get these regular Roth show episodes every
Mm-hmm.
other week there, and then they started getting less frequent. And then they started being not called the Roth Show and just called all kind of stuff. And then there would be all kind of different lengths. There, some would be a half an hour, 45. Some would be 2 minutes.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, and then you wouldn't hear nothing else again out of Dave for two, and that's how it's been. You know,
He's all over the place.
it's crazy as hell, but
Yeah.
it's Dave, and I
But that's
dig it.
Dave. That's
That's
Dave.
right. Roth Show.
Yeah. Hey, should we
But
do trivia before we continue?
yeah, because we're going to get into Eddie, obviously.
Yeah.
And what was the turning point to what was the turning point that could have, you know, I think there was a little time frame in there when they could have made it another. It's just so if they hadn't have been doing as much as they were doing in the
Mm-hmm.
late 80s,
Mm-hmm.
things could have been different.
Yes.
Things could
I
have been
agree.
different. Things could have been different. And I'm going to tell you what the conclusion of what I wish and what should have happened had they not been so drink and drug induced.
Mm-hmm.
But it you know, if they were all like Mike and Dave or Mike and Sam, it would have ended up that way.
Right.
But we'll get into that. But yeah, before we get into the Eddie part, um, yeah, we'll do trivia. Let's do some trivia. William, good to see you in the chat, man. Thank you for giving this prize. This is going to be fun. So, kids, if you are the winner for our trivia game tonight, there's a trivia winner's email down below in the description. You'll find it. You can email me your name and address, and I'm going to mail you out a very, very nice custom made by William Desilva glass red, white, and black smoking device, as you see over there on the right side of your screen. Yeah, that's a cool prize, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you don't smoke weed, if you live in North Carolina like me, it's still nice, and you want to win this. You want to win this. Yeah. All right. And we will. I'm gonna attach a link in the description at show's end. But first, before we proceed into trivia, let's see if this. Let's see. That is. It is quite. Well, let's see if it'll go through all of it. No, it won't. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. All right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that this will come in the chat as a link.
Yeah, it's kind of in two spots, but.
And we'll have that link that shows down in the description, and you guys can check out William's store there on Etsy. What's the name of the store again, Ed?
Haystack Glass.
Haystack Glass. Go to
Yes.
Etsy.com, ETSY, Etsy, if you're not familiar.com. Haystack Glass. Once you get into Etsy. Right on, William.
Yeah.
All righty.
Oh, all right.
Okay, right on. Okay, it is a link. Well, very good. All right, let's get over to the question. And everyone, thanks for playing along. This game of trivia tonight is brought to you by Legend Picks. If you want custom guitar picks, Legend Picks link is in the description. He's made them for all these cool cats. He can make them for you too. Yeah. So go check out, get you a sack full of Legend Picks, you players. Playa. All right. Yeah. And tell him Tony sent you. All right, there's the question. All right, good luck. I'm going to flash this question up on the screen, and you're going to answer over in the chat. First correct answer that we see is the winner. I'm excited, Ed.
Me too.
Somebody's going to get somebody's. I'm going to open this up. I can't stand it. This right here, Ed.
Hey, Wayno.
Wayno, what's up? This is my.
Uh-oh, you cracking it open?
My drug of choice. I've been waiting for trivia. This is my absolute everyday addicted.
The new cocaine.
I'm a little worm. Yeah.
Oh, I'd be awake all night if I had that right now.
No. Yep. I stop at Starbucks, Ed, and get these almost every day. Not this, but at the store. This comes from the market.
So I've bought the smaller Frappuccino ones. I like those. They're about $4, I think. How much is a bottle like that?
This is exactly the same. This at the store to buy a large is $6.40.
Oh, that's not bad.
Is what the price, but this is $6.99.
Still, it's not bad at all. Well, today's prices.
And around here, I don't drink from the milk jug, although I do live alone. But I drink from everything else, and including this. Cheers.
Cheers. Gretch Zeppelin says Starbucks costs more than the Coke.
I know, right?
Yep.
Fabulous. All right. Let's get it on.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody's going to get a new pipe to hopefully you'll put this in your cabinet on display as a nice piece, and not get it and go grab your bag of weed and pack one, and
I want them to send us a picture of it in use.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay. All right. He said it.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, kids. For whoever wins it, it's nice as hell. I'll say that. And very generous of William to give this prize.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And I guess a good night too, with us talking about drugs and booze.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Good luck, everybody. First correct answer we see is going to walk away with it. Mm-hmm. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Get your fingers limber. Here we go. Good luck. At an early club gig at Walter Mitty's Rock and Roll Emporium in Pomona, California, Van Halen witnessed a stabbing death after an argument. What was the argument about? Somebody.
Good
They're
guesses.
coming in. They're coming in.
See, that was my first thought was a girl, but guess not.
Good guesses.
Nope. Nope.
Keep them coming.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
If you wanna get down on the ground. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
All righty. Do 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 do. Boom boom boom. All right. Do 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 do. Do do do. Boom 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 boom. Do 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 do. I'm seeing some great answers.
Yeah.
And some of you are kind of skirting something, but your guys are kind of cold though. But
Yeah.
I'm liking the responses.
Yep.
For the people who don't know.
Hey, Ralph 66, how you doing?
Ralph, good to see you, man. Welcome.
Who took a shit in the green room?
And if you guys don't get this, you're going to kick yourselves in the booty.
Oh.
All right.
I see it.
There
Ryan.
it is. Whose bike was faster?
Yes.
Ryan is the big winner for tonight. Let's give him a big.
Yeah.
Let's do it proper. Right on. You did it, man.
Keith was all over it with bikers and bikes and this and that and rival gangs.
Bikers, yeah. Yep. Whose bike was faster?
Yep. Monique said bikes also.
Yep. So there you go. Ryan, you are the big winner here tonight, sir. Rock on. You rock.
So, Ryan, when you're playing Comfortably Numb on your show, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe check out the pipe.
I know. All right, Ed. I've got it covered up again. All right.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Yeah. But yeah, so imagine what happens, Ed, when you are a successful musician, rock star,
Guitar
and
God.
well, for whatever, but imagine you on that level and you got money and you got all this in your face like that, and you've been partying, you and your brother and the band have been partying anyway. Now you got the money,
Mm-hmm.
and imagine what I mean, so no wonder that these rock stars carry around briefcases of cocaine
Yeah.
in the early 80s. You know, I mean, it was surely out there.
Yep.
And Eddie took a liking, but once 1987, 88, 87, around the Monsters of Rock. Okay. So in between Monsters and Carnal Knowledge, let's say.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That from the late 80s into 91, like that. Um, Something happened to a lot of us in the world. And it's weird. I had just gotten married, started a family, and all my buddies did also at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And we all just kind of, I mean, we partied like animals. We did, but not responsive. Never got arrested. I never got a DUI. Um, but some did. Some got arrested for dope. I never did. You know, um, you hit it well, whatever. I recall, Ed, in 1985, hiding cocaine in the ceiling panels of a hotel room.
Oh.
I think I did that more than once.
Okay. Well, you
You
got to put
know,
it somewhere. You got to stash it somewhere.
can't keep it on your person like that. You can't walk around with that shit.
Put it
You
in the
know,
hotel safe, I guess.
well, I mean, but back then, that's what you did. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
So Eddie had a guy though, and he I heard that he actually had some lines that he would
of course,
put on the amp
of
on
course,
stage.
of
Put it
course.
on the amp on stage next to Al's beer. You
Yeah.
know, that's how that's how crazy it was. I mean, so but I think in a way it helped with Van Halen as far as he stayed up a lot longer to write, to compose music. Um, and we probably got a lot of great music out of him because he was awake at 5150 on a cocaine binge. You know,
But there was I hate to say it, but
there's always a downside, but
it was a daily thing
yeah,
for a big huge little chunk of time there, um
yeah,
with Eddie, you know. Um but once, it's the drinking and the cocaine went hand in hand, though, Ed.
that's right. Yeah, so
That's for
the yin and the yang.
right. That's you did one but it would make vacations, blurry,
Yeah.
then. But that's what they did for a long time, but that's what
Yeah.
everybody did. And at that time, 1987, 88, we were all doing that shit. It was
So
everywhere.
Alex was out of control too. He, according to Noel, he would show up at Noel's room in the morning and he'd drink a couple of small bottles of vodka, and then he would do about a half dozen more and a few beers, and by 10 o'clock in the morning he was shit faced. But Al quit. Al got sober, but Eddie kept going. I mean, Eddie went to rehab a few times. He got sober for a while, but
He did.
he went back, and it was only until later years when Wolfie told him to cut the shit that he actually finally stopped.
They
But
both went back though.
yeah,
Him and Alex. They
yeah, I
both
guess,
went back and forth.
yeah,
Um,
um,
and it was we all saw Eddie in um, uh, I would rather just skip it altogether,
hmm
Ed, in my heart, because it's really ugly,
yeah,
and I don't like to talk about it, look at it, but once the 1990s, the mid to late 1990s, yeah, there was a lot. There were even other drugs that showed up after that,
yeah,
unfortunately. But fast forward, let's. I think I'm not going to spend any more time in that era than that. So
right,
there you
right,
go.
right,
All
right.
right.
We all
But
know.
right. So fast forward to 2007. We
Okay.
saw what kind of shape Eddie was in.
hmm
Okay. We saw the playing then,
Yep.
you know. Um, and I really even hate to bring up the tour in 2004, Ed.
Yeah.
I hate to bring up that, but
Yeah.
when Wolf joined Van Halen, okay,
And that's when I met Ed. The first I met Ed in 2004. He sat right
yeah,
in front of me during sound check and had a had a bottle of wine, his hair up in the bow and everything, and
yeah.
asked us what we wanted to hear and sound check. And he was very nice and pleasant, and but
But he wasn't in as good a shape as he
no,
was in
no, and
'07.
we all knew that, and we were all sad about that, and yeah, so
Yeah. But we saw what happened. We saw the transformation. We go
yeah,
from 2007, they're back. Wolf's in the band. What the
yep,
hell? To 2012 and the album and the tour, and they're kicking ass even more.
yeah,
Ed's playing's getting better and better and better.
yep,
He's looking health wise in 2012. He looks better and better.
hmm
Um, he's cleaned up. He's cleaning, and by the last tour, he looked fantastic. The playing was as good or as good as it was since the '80s. Just killing it, effortless. You know, um,
yeah,
yeah. But yeah, was a a long hard road with him, and there were other health issues. There were cancers, more than once, and but
yeah,
I don't know, that's what happens when you continue to abuse your body like that. I mean, so we don't like to see those images of Eddie, in 1997, 1998,
Right. Yeah.
99, not great. Yeah. With me, Ed, I never knew, and I knew a couple people who got arrested, a couple people got DUIs, but I don't think I've ever known anybody that really had issues like that with drugs and alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And maybe I'm just lucky like
Yeah,
that.
I think you are.
But when, like I say, when we look, me and my buddies, about 1990, we still hung out and fished, and our kids got together and wives and all. We still were music fans. We knew what was going on with all these bands, but once we looked back, and like, wow, it's been 4 years and hadn't smoked a joint, but none of us tried to stop. It's like we just kind of stopped. We found life changed us.
Yep.
Life happened, right.
Exactly.
We all got married and had babies is what happened.
Yeah.
So those days and the 80s were gone. My 1990s, that was my 1990s. All that crappy music was just the soundtrack to all the diapers, Ed. Stinky diapers and Nirvana. You got it. Fucking A.
That's what comes to mind when you hear about Nirvana is stinky diapers.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
My 1990s were spent,
that was
way.
What was happening at your time of life. That was what was happening. Yeah.
Not as carefree as it was 5 years earlier.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, but but I do think that me and my buds, I know a couple of them are watching. We'll say Ralph and Sam, to protect the innocent, but all of us came out of everything unscathed, though.
Yeah.
Really, though, we escaped the 80s, I think.
You were the lucky ones, right? When you think about it. Because a lot of people fell to the wayside and, got addicted and to different things and didn't work out well for them. So.
Yeah, I mean, but there was nobody like that who we hung out with.
I'm very surprised because you could talk to, I'm sure, 80% of the chat right now and ask them if they know of somebody that had issues.
Well, I knew of a couple people, but nobody.
No, you're in a circle, though.
In the 8 of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that but it kind of happened, and took me. I drank for a while, but until I guess I turned 40 maybe, and I realized that, man, I am no good at this damn drinking. You try to drink, you drink beer, and I mean, I'm just terrible at it, But I do like a drink every now and again or two. But yeah, not beer though.
Okay, so you were saying earlier that you were going to talk about after the late 80s, there was an upside maybe that you were thinking of, like what if situation.
Well, here's the thing.
If people weren't addicted.
Here's the right. Should now I think when David Lee Roth left Van Halen
Yep.
originally, that could have been saved, but you can't blame any of that on drinking and drugs. I think that would have been no matter
Okay.
what. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Sammy leaving Van Halen. Okay.
Okay.
David, I wish David Lee Roth had never left Van Halen. Obviously, I'm a huge David Lee Roth fan. Pro Dave,
Yep.
Diamond Dave, I mean, of course. But
Yeah.
the truth is, the truth is that Sammy should have never left Van Halen. He should have been in Van Halen for the rest of time. And that's how we should have known Van Halen was just from those two guys, David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. And that's it. He should have never left the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. I think at that time he had his head on straight enough, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, his life was great things were happening. He just had a baby, and
Right.
I
Right.
mean, the band's very successful. What could I mean, Sammy Hagar should have been in Van Halen for the rest of time, from 1986 onward, and that's how it ended. You know.
Yeah. You're right.
And right, they should have never gotten Roth back in the band. Um, I think even if Roth had have never come back into the fold in 2007, I think Roth would have still ventured out there flying the Van Halen flag somehow until he could do it no more. However, that would have ever worked out, but he would have still gone out and done his thing, you
Right.
know. Um,
So
but
do you think it was because of Eddie's drugs and drinking in the middle of the
yes,
'90s
yes,
that he went off and just said, "Fuck it,
him and
you're out.
Alex,
You're right. Yeah, you guys are out of the band. I mean,
him.
Sammy, you're out of the band because you don't
Well,
want to contribute as much as we do with this Twister soundtrack thing,
I don't. I
and
just.
you're out in Hawaii having fun, and we're working here, and
But yeah, I don't. That's just what we've heard. But we
yeah,
weren't there. We don't know.
we don't know,
Obviously, it
right,
was escalated. It should have never happened. With the
right.
the brothers.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Well,
You
they're always
know.
going to stick together. Yeah.
I mean, not sticking together, Ed. I'm talking about
Oh,
out of
the
control.
out of control drinking and drugs. Yep.
Um. Yeah. That guy he should have never left that band.
Yeah.
Um, he should still be in Van Halen, you know, had it gone like that, you know. Um, and they would have made, gosh, who knows how many more records after Balance.
Right. Yeah, you never know.
And that's what should have happened, you know. I mean, we all talk about why, Roth, if he, you know, could he have stayed before? Yes, we've already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you think an album like A Different Kind of Truth would have ever came out still? Do you think Eddie would have gone back into the vaults like he did and reworked some of those old songs
yeah,
if Sammy was still in the band?
yeah.
It just would have been different lyrically, obviously, like
I,
a lot of them.
but he pulled from everything, everywhere. It's tough to say what the circumstances would have been with Hagar in the fold still,
Yeah,
what they would have been working on, what Ed's mood would be to go back to old stuff. Are they writing more new stuff together at that point? Who's to say what would have happened? But I think that the drinking and the drugging had gotten to a point that you know it was tough to be in Van Halen with them, and Mike was so much of a um, yes man, for lack of a better term. I know a couple of them in real life, and but they say yes to, and they just go along. They try to fly under the radar, and don't tell my, you're not gonna show my wife this, are you?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like that. But um,
Mike was always in a precarious situation. He took the high road, and
yeah,
he was loyal to the band. But you can't blame him. When there was so much inactivity, he wanted to go out and play, and his buddy Sammy's like, "Hey,
yeah, that's all that was though.
yeah,
But
right,
Mike was gonna go along with whatever. I mean,
yeah,
of course you are. It's tough to deal. You see what kind of shape Ed and Al are in, what the working schedule is, and what you guys are accomplishing. And Mike, him not being where Al lived close, but Mike lived a ways, and he's married, and he always kept a certain amount of
yep,
separation.
yep."
You know,
And
um,
when Roth left, it was he had to sit there and listen to Dave sucks and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden Sammy's gone, and he had to listen to that. While he's sitting there right behind Gary Sharon or with Gary and stuff when they're talking about the band and about Sammy, leaving the band or whatever.
oh, of
So he
course.
had to go. He had to go through, and then obviously when Gary left the band, so he was there through the whole thing when with all three singers leaving the band, and he was gonna stand behind the brothers no matter what. He was loyal, even though they screwed him over with the songwriting stuff and all that. But
Yeah. Well, that was a little wild also, but that was the relationship, partly the
mhm.
relationship there already. I mean,
Yeah,
you're not going to give somebody a raise if they don't want a raise. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean,
That's right.
not exactly that, but you know what I mean. He was easy. If they're finding more ways, they saw the potential there with the numbers. You know, for three versus four. I mean,
Yeah,
goes up quite a little bit. Um,
yeah. Keith was saying that the breaking point was the other half. Yeah, that's true. That's true. When they started calling themselves the other half, that kind of pissed Ed and Hal even more, pissed them off. So,
well,
but
yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. It is a shame that they got mixed up to the degree that they were with it. You know,
yeah,
and
It's just
in the 90s. It shouldn't have been. They should have been, even though they're big, successful rock stars. I mean, we were all doing the same shit at the same time, doing the same amount of blood. They might have been doing a little bit more
They could
blow
afford it,
than
yeah.
we were, but we all had babies at the same time. I mean, if we can do it, surely they could do it. But I mean, it's easier said than done. It's all around them and in their face, and if they want it, all they got to do is snap almost.
Yeah. So, and that would have been kind of cool, though. What in your other universe you were just talking about with Sammy staying with the band, that would have been kind of cool and interesting to think about what the music would have been like after Balance.
Right.
I mean, we can only speculate. They were maturing a lot. When you think about the music and the videos from Balance, with Not Enough and all that stuff.
Imagine by early 2000s, if they were clean.
Yeah.
Imagine what the sound was then.
Right. Yeah, that would have been
You
crazy.
figure a couple of albums later, after that, early 2000s, they might even still be out there today, Ed.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say? I know Ed's not here, but it's who's to say? But if they were clean, I think that Sammy would have never left. He should still be in Van Halen, and Van Halen still be out there.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And we probably missed out on a lot of cool music. We really heard a lot of stuff after 1995, but not from Sammy with them. So could have been other songs reworked and all like that, but we'll never know.
Nope. Guess not.
We'll never know. But yeah, that. I do think that it did change Van Halen history. I really think it did. We should have never seen David Lee Roth and Eddie and Alex and Mike at the damn VMA walking on that stage. That should have never happened. Never in a million years.
Yep.
So, I mean.
But the history is written, and nothing we can do about it.
Ed, I can't tell you how good that is.
Oh, I know.
Oh, my goodness. I'm glad it's getting a little warm. That way I'll have to stop. Because a lot of days I can't stop. I love that stuff. Yep.
Oh, you know what I meant to tell you since we're on the Van Halen show tonight?
What's that?
I just started watching this show on Netflix called The King of Collectibles. It's about this guy who's a high-end collector, and he auctions things off. In the sports world, you should watch this, Tony, because I know how much you love baseball and collecting baseball stuff. So anyway, one of the places that they went to was a drum museum that they have, and I'm trying to think of what town it was in. But and these people had a whole bunch of drum sets all set up. This guy had a room set up with a whole bunch of snares, and you could see signatures on them and things like that. And then he had this huge warehouse kind of room with all these drum sets set up that he allowed kids to go in there, like from different schools and things, and play on these sets that were from the Beatles, Rush.
Nice.
I mean, this guy spent a lot of money on these drum sets. And then he goes, oh, and here's Alex Van Halen's drum set from 2015. And I was like, holy shit. And he had it set up right there. And so that's and also other professional drummers would come in too, just to play on these sets of their idols,
So they were replica sets of the actual set.
Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, how can that be Alex Van Halen's drum kit from 2015? But Alex just
you said Neil Peart too, and other famous drummers. They're probably, I don't know, but they're most likely built kits of these drummer gods.
The way the curator or the guy from the museum was talking, he was saying that they were actually from the actual drummers. He was saying how this was Ringo Starr's set.
Well, where is it, Ed? Let's look at it.
I'll send you the link, or it's on Netflix.
Put it in the chat, bro.
Yeah, I know it's on Netflix, but
you're making our mouths water, and you're leaving us cold.
And the guys who are there and what they do is they go traveling around and they try to have these people consign their stuff to them so they can sell it at auction. And this guy was ready. Him and his wife were ready to pack up and go to Florida or something and retire. And they wanted to sell everything, and give a lot of the money to music charities and things like that.
So this is recent. So that's the kit. That kit just sold for $200,000.
Yeah, right. They said this is Alex Van Halen's kit from the 2015 Van Halen tour, and I was like, wow. Yeah.
So when did you see?
I just finished watching this series last night. They only have 2 seasons, and it's called The King of Collectibles on Netflix, and it's this guy who started this business with his father.
Right.
Mainly sports memorabilia, cards, and things like that. Baseballs.
Right. I get it.
And then they're branching off into other avenues now, different things, historic things.
I'm just wondering.
Like
I'm just simply wondering, Ed, if this is the kit from the auction or a built replica,
right?
Like that.
As far as I could tell, when the guy was talking, he was saying that stuff that he had was authentic.
Let's add 1 and 1 here together then, and move along in the conversation. This is the dude that bought the kit, that won the auction on that kit.
He must have.
Must have. That's him.
King of Collectibles. I forget the guy's name. Who they were talking to. I was shocked when I was watching it last night. I'm like, holy shit, that's Alex's thing.
So this was on Netflix, you say?
It's on Netflix. There's 2 seasons of it. It's called The King of Collectibles.
The King of Collectibles.
The guy's last name is Golden. Goldin.
So we'll just all search The King of Collectibles.
Yep.
And we'll find it. Yeah. Right on.
Ken. His name is Ken Golden.
Okay. We'll find it. We'll get it. we can't get it right now. So
No, we can't get it right now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, sorry to tease you with it,
all
but
right. So we'll check out that. Yeah, I did hear a couple of people who were mentioning about the big 2015 kit that went for such a big number. I saw other unboxings here in the past week, or this past week. Jeremy White bought a snare drum from the auction, and made a little unboxing. Very nice. Got the Van Halen logo. I saw another unboxing. A fella opened up a bunch of it was one of the drum packages. Ed, it had like a couple of bass drums from whatever era and other toms, and I think floor tom also, and
wow.
yeah, but there'll be more of that, and like we say, that stuff will be showing up. You don't know who got this stuff, but yeah, it's turned out successful. Still hadn't gotten the final number on it, but
No.
we'll bring you that. There's speculation. I don't want to give speculation, but we'll bring you that info when we hear it. So yeah, hugely successful.
So the guy's the guy's private drum museum. His last name is Frangione. It's the Frangione Foundation, and he's he's in like cooperation with Modern Drummer. Yeah, so I'm kind of I'm looking at a video here, and they actually show Alex's kit there, and they show a Vinny.
You
How you
can't
pronounce his
show
last name?
us though, Ed. That's the thing.
I can't show you,
You can't show it. That's right.
but I just put a link to the YouTube video of this guy's collection in the chat. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention it. It just came to my mind that I just watched it last night. I said, "Oh shit, I got to mention this to Tony." Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Cool. Let me put that in there. Yeah. All right, everybody. I think Ed and me are gonna wind things down for the evening. I do want to give a big congratulations to OU812 Ryan, who was the big winner of the glass smoking device, we'll call it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that is a very cool prize. And William Desilva, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
That is so generous of you to donate that. Once this show's done, I'll amend the description, and we'll all find your link in the description here on Etsy, and go frequent William's store. He has glass pipes and other glass goodies in there too. Yeah. So, but that is those Van Halen style pipes like that. That's sensational, Ed.
Yeah, those are
That
fantastic.
is awesome. Ryan, you got the hook up tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
And don't bogart that thing neither. I'm kidding. You better pass that thing. Nah. All right. Okay, so yeah, but not trying to chunk anybody who we've talked about under the bus at all. But, Van Halen and drugs and booze, they unfortunately, they kind of go together,
Yep.
if
Hand
you
in
think
hand.
about it, you know. Um, yeah, they do. So, I guess we'll take that down for the ending. Yeah, I didn't want to leave that up all night,
Right.
Not all night,
Because
we can when we talk about it, like, but I can hear it now. Oh, dang. Oh, Dad. Oh, shit.
why'd you show that on your show?
Dad.
I think R2 said something about he was sweating when he saw it. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But anyway.
No. We hide them on the amps. We hide them in the green room. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Now we'll take that down. But now I'm sure that they did their fair share of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you take the company checkbook and you start writing checks to yourself, Ed.
That's red flag.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a check here that I've had for a lot of years that was it's written by Eddie on a blank check with the band's info in the upper left, his name to himself, signed by himself.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for 200 G's. Yeah,
For guitar strings.
yeah, for guitar strings. But but what happened with that check? I always hunted and tried to find. Well, why would he write himself a check using the band's account, forwarding money to himself like that? I
Ah.
thought, well, maybe they're adding another wing onto the studio. Who knows?
Tax
Whatever,
purposes.
tax purposes. He building that at the time he was. So it was
Right.
around that time. But but when Noel's book came out, and he started saying that Eddie was writing cash advances out to himself for a couple 100,000 at a time, and this drug dealer, this coke dealer, showing up out on the road, making Noel very uncomfortable. Not trying to get in anyone's business, but still trying to keep coolness about things, and somebody bringing a bunch of that in, and they could shut their asses down. So I'm sure it made Noel very, very nervous.
Oh yeah.
But long story short, that's where I think that check is from. It's just pure drug money. It
Could be.
is all. Yeah. Um, yeah. All right. Guys and girls, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Love to see you here every week. Those of you watching on replay, it's more fun watching this live. Those that come every week here in the chat, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's a
Thank
lot
you.
of fun. You can be right there with them. Yeah. All right. Everybody, thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support of these shows here on this YouTube channel. And most importantly, God bless you and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for just being Van Halen fans and loving Van Halen. You know, we love you for that.
Yep.
We certainly do. All right, kids. This Saturday on the show, we do another show on the weekend. Show me your pick. We talk guitar picks and rock memorabilia. We're going to sling our balls to the wall this Saturday night.
Yes.
Talking Accept.
Yes.
Crunch.
These guys have gone through a lot of lineup changes too. But anyway, anytime I see or hear that song on the radio,
I know.
Yes.
Crank it.
Yeah, crank it.
That's it. All right, so you got Accept on Show Me Your Pick Saturday night. Hope you'll join us. I'm sure it'll be a hot, steamy, hot summer night. And we might try that little golf hack, Ed, about hungover.
Really? You thinking about doing that?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
A Friday night, a little Jack Daniels on a Friday
not
night?
Friday night,
Saturday night. Oh.
I got an 8 a.m. tea time for Sunday.
Oh, maybe a few sips on Saturday night during the show?
A few.
Yeah.
I want to be hungover.
All right.
Holding bottles of water.
We'll have to see how this experiment goes.
I know. I will let you know Sunday afternoon. I'll tell you.
Sunday afternoon when we talk. Yes. Yeah. Give me a call and let me know how it went. Now I'm interested in how this is going to go.
No, but we'll see. Though. They say though that you play your best golf when you're hungover. I played my best round of golf I ever played in my life. I was late, did nothing but went from the trunk to the tee box in the cart, had on a brown sock and a blue sock. Thought, oh hell, golf's out the window. But it's nice to see you fellas. Happy Saturday.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Puke in the bushes, and then you're off. a little bit of sweating going on, I'm sure. Some sweats going on.
Yeah. All right. Kids.
But you were loose. You were loose, right?
That's right. I guess the whole premise of it all is don't think too much.
Right.
You know. So, which I tend to do too much of.
It happens.
I know. All right, kids. Thanks so much. Me and Ed will see you next Tuesday. We are out of here. Leave a thumbs up top on the video on your way out like that, and share these out on your Instagrams and your Facebooks and where you're socializing out there in the inner Googles of the nice side and the dark side. Share everywhere, please. You know, just click it over there and click it over there. These guys talk Van Halen every Tuesday. Yeah, do that for me. All right, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Ed, good to see you, my friend. Have a great week.
You too, buddy.
We out of here.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.